maybe a philosophy. I think there's three things that go on in acting. You've got quality, enjoyment, and financial benefits. If you can get two of those right, then you're in business. So you can have something that's great quality, great money, but if it's, it might not be enjoyable, but at least you've got good cash and you're making some good work. Those are two great things to be able to be doing. Or if it's high quality and it's fun and the money's shit, at least you're having fun and you're doing good work. But if you've only got one of those things, then you're poked, I think. You're in trouble. Even if the money's great, if you're miserable and the work's shit, then you're in trouble. And just a great company.
Did you get to do some kung fu?
Oh, me? No. I got beaten. I just get beaten up a lot by
both sides.
By both sides, yeah. Because I played a cop, so I'm just like both sides are coming at me. If you put in the work and you've done everything you can, then that's all you can do. Then it is up to, as you say, the winds or the gods or.
The Dan Flow is all about human stories. It gives us the experiences and the knowledge helps us share in that and hopefully work towards better understanding human consciousness. Nick Pauling, welcome to the Dan Flow.
Thanks. That's full on. That's a lot.
I think it sounds like a lot, but it's because I've had to think about it a little bit and I decided that the initial idea of having a 10-minute conversation to explain why I enjoy doing this podcast and it just becomes impractical.
Yeah, that's not a lot. That's not enough time.
Yeah,
to dig.
Yeah, and also it just gets a little bit boring. So initially we met here in Cape Town.
Yeah,
I would say maybe somewhere in 2005, 2006.
Yeah,
I think it was the year just after
we graduated.
You had graduated.
Yeah.
And at the time, I remember all the young actors said, "It's Nick Pauling guy. Like, look out for him."
Wow,
he's like
That's nice of them. That's very kind. Those are kind words.
And so here we are, more than 20 years down the line. If you allow yourself to cast your mind back to that time and what you thought about the world, what you thought about acting, about theater, film, TV, and you use the wisdom that you've gained in the subsequent years, what would you say are sort of some of the main things that you got right and some of the things that you...
I think I took myself a bit too seriously.
It's a problem in your 20s, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're an actor and you think you're quite serious and you're quite fun and you're quite hardcore. Just to relax a little more, maybe. I think what I got right was working quite hard, and always taking it seriously and treating it like a job, because so many people, not necessarily coming out of drama school, but in the industry, sort of treat it as a sideline, as a hobby, as a.
I think that's a mechanism to help protect your ego.
Yeah, possibly.
If it doesn't work out, then I was just playing anyway.
Exactly. So to have an attitude against that and to have a conscious choice to work against mediocrity and work against part-timeness, hobbyists, and make it a profession and make it a solid avenue was what I think I kind of got right there. Without sounding too much like a ponce. But
it's okay. You're welcome to insult your former self.
Good, because it needs a little tuning up. But yeah, and as I said, what I got wrong, I think, was maybe just taking it too seriously, taking myself too seriously, and not taking the job seriously, or not mediating between taking the job seriously and taking myself seriously. I think I outweighed taking myself seriously against the work.
On those sort of two big principles, you'd give yourself 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2, 50%.
So it's like be all in on the craft,
on the one. Yeah, if you can. It's very difficult because of the ego, because of because you do. Yeah, you sort of. It's such a difficult industry, such a often a personal attack and stuff. You've got to be pretty thick-skinned, and you've got to be able to take that kind of criticism. And within that, you've got to sort of take yourself seriously a little bit. But at the same time, you've got to walk away and go, it's just acting. It's just...
So to take the craft seriously, but you have to take yourself lightly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's it's a difficult balance to get right.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite tough because of the ego.
Yes.
Ego blowing around there.
I think you're just mentioning there, and I think it's an important differentiation. If I'm doing math, just to try and find something sort of polar opposites, just in terms of the way we generally understand it. If I try to solve an equation and I give it to someone who better understands the math, they can look at it and say, no, you made a mistake. Here's the mistake. Here's why. Here's how you could have done it. And you can look at it and go, that makes sense. However, the moment it comes to art, whether it's designing, painting, singing, whatever form of art, when someone gives you feedback, you have to be open to feedback.
Absolutely.
But you can't be super submissive to it. You also have to,
as an artist,
you make some calls, right?
Yeah, you got to...
It's like, no, I think the character should be less gruff. No, but I chose the gruffness.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? There's a reason for this. I've looked at the whole story, and this is where
it's a gruff character.
Yeah.
But as you say, like, you can't. There's no mathematical solution. You spoke earlier about, if you are the best rocket engineer, builder, whatever, and you send in, you produce the specs for the best rocket, you're the best rocket maker. That's it. There's no question. Whereas
you can objectively measure it.
Yeah, you can say this
cost per payload to space or whatever
it is. But with art, you can't quantify it, and particularly acting. I think with dance and music, you can say, okay, this person's a grade 8 pianist, or this person, you can see a beautiful dancer or a ballerina, or performing these beautiful maneuvers. That's the right word, the choreography. But then you can say that they've achieved a certain level that is quantifiable. And even in writing, I think a little bit, you can see like someone who can put together a sentence, and who can, even if you don't like the writing necessarily, you can see that someone can write. Whereas with acting, of all of them, it's so subjective. Like it's.
If you really suck.
Even then, there's so many people that suck that work all the time. I might even be one of them. It's on the day who likes what and what you look like and how you sound, and it's such a it's impossible to quantify, because one person's favorite actor is the other person's least favorite actor.
Yeah.
So it's tough to...
Yeah, I think there's it's a little bit like singing. If someone's tone deaf...
Can't really sing then, can you?
Can't really sing, can you?
No.
And there's some people in acting who are kind of...
Acting deaf.
They're kind of acting deaf. There's just you can give them something, they can memorize the lines, but they just can't breathe life into the character.
Certain things.
So they can deliver the lines, but it's going to be monotonous and da, 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 da. They can't even try to be themselves delivering the lines, never mind play the character. But once you've gotten past that, and as you're pointing out, becomes very subjective very quickly.
Yeah, it's hard. Even those actors who are struggling, in an editing room, you can make them look good, if it's on film. As theatre's different. But if they're on TV or film, you can edit them around them and then just have them, where you want them, in spite of the fact that they can't get out a sentence. But yeah, it's such a... you can go on about it and how it's just so subjective.
So, Nick, I know that you originally, obviously, you studied theatre in Cape Town at UCT.
Yeah.
And that means that you were training in theatre, and you subsequently did quite a bit of theatre.
Yeah.
As I recall, you won a lady for Amadeus.
Fleur de Cup, yeah.
Fleur de Cup, that's the one.
Yeah.
And so all of these, like I said, all the young actors were saying this is the guy to watch. But even if you're absolutely amazing at your craft, that doesn't guarantee A, that you'll get enough roles to actually make a career of it.
Yeah.
And B, that the kind of roles that you get, or the kind of, especially if it's in theatre, that you're necessarily going to make the kind of money that's going to sustain you through some of the drier periods. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I've a little theory, maybe a philosophy. I think there's three things that go on in acting. You've got quality, enjoyment, and financial benefits. If you can get two of those right, then you're in business. So you can have something that's great quality, great money, but if it's, it might not be enjoyable, but at least you've got good cash and you're making some good work. Those are two great things to be able to be doing. Or if it's high quality and it's fun and the money's shit, at least you're having fun and you're doing good work. But if you've only got one of those things, then you're poked, I think. You're in trouble. Even if the money's great, if you're miserable and the work's shit, then you're in trouble, I think.
I quite like that.
Yeah, it helps. It helped me sort of
contextualize some of the trying to compare this job with that one. Should I go this way or that way?
Yeah, exactly. And
money isn't always the answer.
Absolutely. I mean, we used to have
enjoyment isn't always the answer. Neither is the product quality.
Exactly. It's if you get two of those right, I think you're okay. Unless of course you just get enjoyment and quality forever and no money, then you're also poked a bit.
There's a difference between trying to make break out of orbit money from acting and just surviving.
Yeah, that's
because
ticket.
I mean, just surviving is actually a feat by itself.
Yeah, no, I think
huge. Especially in a place like South Africa where when you do, actually just before this conversation, we touched on it outside. If you land a nice character in an international film, but you were cast in Cape Town and they're shooting in Cape Town, and the rest of the top parts of the cast all come from abroad, and they've got the protections and they're getting those kind of paychecks, and you hear and it's like, oh look, it's on my IMDb. I was in so many scenes. I did this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, and I made enough money to survive for exactly 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. No, the money situation here is pretty bleak. As you say, it's a survival mode. I mean, and a lot of great actors I know have sort of just left because of it, because it's just not feasible, and good really strong, solid actors.
It's difficult to get the job, but then to actually get the job and still not get the money.
Yeah, that's a killer.
It feels like a bit of a kick in the nuts.
It's rough out there, man. Because the international standards and the unions there are very strong, so they can afford to negotiate these sort of substantial rates that we just don't see here. And that's because we're cheap.
So talking about this transition, you went from theatre and then, in Cape Town, I think one of the big things going is it's not just local commercials, it's also commercials from right across the planet.
Yeah.
Who come shoot here because it's
attractive.
It's an attractive proposition.
Yeah.
Like, from Cape Town, you can, within, let's say, a radius of about 150 kilometers, you can go from everything from sort of, I'm not going to say quite rainforest, but you can really cover so many different terrains, have different areas. And
you can have downtown look like London, New York. The beach can be Miami. You can get you can get the feel of all these sort of cosmopolitan cities and, as you say, terrains, and there's mountains and beaches and lakes and all these kinds of things. So it's a really versatile shooting location.
At very competitive prices.
It's
and
cheap.
Highly competent crews.
Crews are incredible. I mean, the crews are amazing here. And a lot of the actors are fantastic. You know, like the matching up with all the international, you know, standards. There's acting. There are some incredible actors, and they can get them for cheap.
But so one of the things I've sort of, it's a little bit of a seasonal town, especially when it comes to commercials. And you get it's season, and then suddenly it's cattle calls, right?
Yes.
Where you stand, you have 100, 150, 200 people lining up
with a little sticker.
With your little sticker and waiting
form
in
your hand.
And your little one line.
Your one tiny little line or your little eyebrow
and you've got
raised.
You've got the models and you've got the chances, the extras who sort of, the agency sent them. And you've got the acclaimed award-winning actors all standing in the same line, hoping for the same job.
Same gig. Yeah.
What are they going to go for? We'll see.
That's exactly it.
Because obviously you've done quite a bit of that.
A lot of that. Yeah.
And a voice work and...
Yeah, I've been lucky with
and you get some. What was your first break into TV or film?
I did I wouldn't say a break necessarily, but it was my first thing. Was a thing
foray into
exactly was a thing called Charlie Jade, where I think Langley Kirkwood was the lead. He's amazing. And I got this tiny little part and I shaved my head and I was taking myself quite seriously and I had a Cockney accent or something ridiculous.
Do it for us.
Oh, no, that's not happening. That's not today. It's too early.
You should have made this a boozy one.
Yeah, that's I should have made it an afternoon, eh? And yeah, that was the first thing I did. But also it's like, you don't really get to choose. You just go and you hope, you know, like it's very rare unless, I mean, someone like Langley, I think he gets to, because he's so acclaimed and so good. You can sort of choose your projects, but, the level certainly that I'm at, I can't decide, I'm going to turn projects down, you know, because you need the money, you need the work. It's good to keep working, and you need that to fulfill yourself, you know. So yeah, Charlie Jade is the first.
I vaguely remember the time that Charlie Jade was being shot, but
yeah, it was a sci-fi type thing. I can't really remember, but I do remember that being my first sort of, okay, this is how this operates kind of thing. Not really having no idea, because drama school, we did like a module really on TV stuff. Nothing. It was mostly theatre and theatre and performance. So yeah, and it was fun, man. It's a blast. And suddenly you get to do, you know, you not have the pressure is not as intense or immediate, because you don't have to carry a play or you don't have to carry a scene. You can cut it. You can cut into scenes. You can go again. You can
if you do fluff your line, which you don't want to do, you still want to do.
No, you want to get it right.
But if you do,
but there's a little cushion.
We can do it again.
Yeah. In
theatre,
you're in trouble.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Now you have to find your way back.
And it's a long and lonely journey. Let me tell you, from messing up a line, it's a very dark space.
Especially if you realize I think I just jumped an act.
Yeah, that's pretty grim. That's
bring
bad
it back.
News. Yeah, hard to loop that back in. Yeah. So it was fun. Yeah, it's fun. And
you're talking about comparing theatre and TV and film. I think one of the great but also terrible things about theatre is that you get a very direct feedback. Like,
absolutely.
If you pulled it off at curtain call, you're going to know this.
Yeah.
Like the audience will tell you.
They'll tell you, and they'll also tell you if you didn't pull it off. Quite quickly.
They just don't tell you much.
They quite quickly get the feeling when you've done it, and you've done something that they don't necessarily enjoy.
Yeah. You didn't bring justice to the character.
Yeah, or I mean, sometimes just the material. Sometimes people just don't respond to it, and you just get these crickets and tumbleweeds.
But I mean, whichever way, the feedback's pretty direct.
It's immediate.
You get to know.
You get to know quite.
And you get off stage, and you can say, tonight was
That was crap.
crap.
Yeah.
The rhythm didn't work.
There
were these little cues were missed. We
didn't get the laughs.
We're doing a comedy and we didn't get the laughs or whatever else, and vice versa. Where the moment you go to TV or film, you might feel like you really did that.
Yeah.
You nailed it, but
you can end up on the cutting room floor.
You don't realize exactly how tight the camera is, what it was looking for, what it's seeing, because it's not the same as performing in front of live people.
Yeah, of course.
And you end up in this, they're going to put music in the background. Are they going to change the coloration completely? Like, what's the feel going to be? Am I going to, is what I did going to work with what everyone else did? Is that the vision of the director?
Yeah, exactly. So
and you don't have the direct feedback. So
no, you can do a performance and
then a year later it comes out and then people
you're
say,
not even in it.
Nick Pauling was fucking terrible. Or, he wasn't even in it.
No, he wasn't even in the show. I had a friend of mine who I will remain anonymous who took his girlfriend to see big premiere of his movie that he was in. And the movie starts and the movie goes and the movie finishes and he's not in it. Rough. Because that can happen, and you don't have any control over it. You just got to hope that you've served the story the best you can, or the project, and then hope that you're in it. Because I'm sure there are actors who are so technologically advanced who can tell, like what I know nothing of lenses or close up
cinematography.
I know nothing of this kind of stuff, but a lot of actors do, and they'll know how to play to that medium quite well. Whereas I think another way of going is just to play as truthfully as possible, and it doesn't matter how big or small you are. If it's honest and if you've done the work, then the camera will let you tell the truth, or let you be honest. I don't know why I got onto that, because then then you're compelling, and then hopefully you stay in the movie, which is what you hope.
Yeah,
because it sucks if you're not in it after all that, after all those days and those early mornings and the shit coffee. And
as you're saying, it's not going to change what money you made from it.
No, that's exactly it. So you just go in and you do your job, and if they cut you,
and they might even give you the credit.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll go on IMDb. You just don't physically appear.
Turn up. Yeah. So if they pay you and you've done your job, then brilliant. Off you go down the pub. But you haven't. Then
you don't
get
that
your work
sense of completion.
You don't get a sense of
purpose and meaning from this is what I've done, and I can see what I've done. And I've offered something to the world.
Yeah, and
how measly ever it might be.
Yeah, and I've contributed, or it's. I think that's quite important to have that feeling.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult. Someone who gets a 9-to-5 job, maybe changes jobs every couple of years, specializes in something, an engineer, architect, accountant. There's a lot of security. And I think we've sort of touched on a lot of this already, but when you work as an actor and you're not in a position where, like, I suppose there's some really big Hollywood actors who never need to work again, especially those who don't have serious gambling problems or any other.
Or drinking or drug problems or whatever problems they may have.
But who made enough money that they don't actually ever have to work again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that changes the field for you. But if you desperately need the next job all the time and you're always looking for things, then I think the psychology of it is quite interesting. Yeah. It's a little bit more like being a hunter in the Kalahari Desert, where not every
extreme, but it's.
But I mean, not every hunt's going to produce something.
No,
and so some days basically don't get to eat, and so there's that. I'm using the example for a reason, but it's true. It means that if the hunt didn't work, then there's a little voice that asks you, did the hunt not work because the winds blew in the wrong direction, the gods weren't favoring you today? Or did the hunt not work because maybe you're not that good at hunter?
Well, that's the thing.
That's a self-doubt and finding the necessary self-esteem to pick yourself up again and go, no.
Yeah, that's exactly this. What we spoke about earlier, is to know that it is subjective, and if you put in the work and you've done everything you can, then that's all you can do. Then it is up to, as you say, the winds or the gods or whatever. Because if you've put in the work and some days it can be, as you said earlier, like just a look that they're looking for, or you catch a casting director on the right day, their coffee's at the right temperature, they've just had a lovely evening with their partner and everything's hunky-dory for them.
In the right slots in the sequence of people they've seen today.
Just before lunch, they're ready to cast people, and then you get the gig. It's just so it's a lottery a lot of the time. But I think if you can go in and say that you've done your very best, and not, again, it's hard. You don't want to try too hard. You don't want to be forcing anything. You want to but if you've worked to the best of your ability to tell that story, or to tell that, or to work the scene or the play, that's all you could do. That's it. And then the rest is in.
Yeah. You're touching on some interesting things here. Being honest, honoring the story, spoken about ego. I suppose there are some very famous actors who are also complete egomaniacs.
Of course.
And they work in a certain way where it works for them.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's sort of the craft.
No, it's a pain in the ass is what it is.
I mean, for someone to really, I don't know, if you think about some actors that you think are really good at taking on a character and really embodying, like fully becoming that character as opposed to just playing themselves in another situation again.
Yeah.
Something like Gary Oldman. There you go.
He's amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
At some point, I recall you'd watch a movie. It was fun. It was amazing. It was terrible in terms of emotional impact or whatever else. And then the credits scroll by, and like, was he in there?
Wow, yeah, he was.
Was
there.
he?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah,
that was him.
He's there. Yeah,
he's amazing. Because it wasn't him.
Yeah, he kind of has that sort of transformative quality. But I think always there's a part of you, obviously, there has to be a part of you in it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think, you're
never going to get 100%.
Yeah, people would argue with me, and but I don't believe that you can fully. I think it's tricky if you fully disappear, because then you are, you're losing a bit of yourself, and you're losing a bit of that your own experience, pumped into the idea of what a character is, which is also a very interesting concept. Because some people would argue, David Mamet, for example, would argue that there is no character. There's just what's on the page, and you just come in, you do your lines, and in that moment, that's all that matters, is that you stand there, you say your lines, and you tell the truth, which is very interesting. I think it's a very interesting and compelling system of approaching the idea of character.
But there's central to what you're saying. There's this seeking the truth.
Yes,
in the lines.
That's the ticket. That's the main thing. So no matter what you are doing, let's say you're in prosthesis or you're made up and disguised,
doing animation voiceover,
or whatever, you're still trying to hit the truth, and that's what will keep people watching, keep them coming back. I think is if you hit that note, then no one can slam you. No one can take anything away from you because it's honest.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to do.
Well, therein lies the rub.
That's it. That's exactly this, but when you see it done and when it's captured, it's amazing to see you see them in all the great performances. Even if it's an actor who's not sort of by way of another, just as a term, a method actor, even if you don't have a method type actor, that you can still achieve that honesty, that truth, without having to kind of, like, if I'm playing a murderer, I don't have to murder someone to play a murderer.
Yeah, so remember this from this is ritual versus role-playing acting. Essentially, method acting is inside out, and
and you get outside
in.
Yeah. It's
and there's many roads lead to Rome.
Yeah, and there's so many methods that people apply or don't apply.
Was it Laurence Olivier who asked us?
It was
Dustin Hoffman, I think.
Was it Hoffman?
He was like, "Have you tried acting, my boy?"
Yeah, he was running around trying to get out of breath.
Running Man. It was, yeah.
And he said, just try acting, or something like that. Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, so he was a very, from what I understand, very sort of stand up, do the lines, when they're done, off you go.
It's a craft.
That's it. Exactly. It's a job, which is a great approach if you can treat it like that. And if you do get enough work to have the opportunity to go, okay, cool, it's just a job, and come in, do your lines best you can, and then go home, have a pint, have a sleep, and treat it like a job. That's ideal, I think. Because I think if you take it with you, I think you're wasting a lot of energy. And I think you're wasting a lot of other people's time. If you're wearing a character all the time at home.
Also, I wonder about the psychological impact.
Yeah, I think you go nuts.
And I remember briefly and it was just like a passage or something from Iago.
Oh, right, yeah.
Othello. I was just working with this quite a bit, and I wasn't thinking specifically approaching it from this way or that way, but I started realizing that I was carrying this character with me, and it was changing ever so slight ways. Just enough for me to notice, and I was like, "Whoa, hold on, that's not me."
Yeah.
That's not how I think. That's
right. Exactly.
That's how Iago thinks. Careful now, because it doesn't end well for him.
No, it doesn't go very well for him at all.
Yeah. And so I wonder if you're doing like playing an Andy Kaufman like Jim Carrey did, and just basically you're just in character for
all the time,
months. What is the effect on your psyche?
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
As much as it's important to find truth for your character, you also want to find truth for yourself, like in your own life.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I think one of the dangerous things about acting is that you're incorporating these other psyches, essentially, into yourself.
Yeah.
It's very important that you find a way to balance them again and to make sure that you can find and stick with what is true to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the sake of your sanity, for the sake of your happiness.
I would imagine so. I've never done anything like that, like what Jim Carrey did. And I don't know. I can't speak to someone like Daniel Day-Lewis's process, which I understand is very immersive. And he's sort of in character, from what I understand, all the time. I feel like it would just be, and sometimes people need that, like that's what Daniel Day-Lewis, I believe, says. That's how he works. That's what he needs to do to get to that point of honesty. Whereas someone like Olivier doesn't need that to get to his point of potency.
So maybe after the production to reintegrate himself.
Yeah, it's quite.
Daniel Day-Lewis just makes shoes.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe that's how he just reminds himself of being in the moment.
Yeah.
Here, I'm making a shoe.
Because he's undeniably, phenomenal. He's just unbelievable to watch. He doesn't really put a foot wrong.
Nick, tell me, like you said, you after your initial foray into TV and film, but wasn't the last time. So you've done a bunch of other things. Now you were in The Tower and Warriors. I think 32 episodes of that over the course of 4 years. And
very lucky for that. With that, that was a dream job. I mean, I didn't have much to do. It was great. I just came in, put on my hat, put on my wig, said a few lines every now and again, and it was brilliant. Just it was such a great time and amazing people. That was also a really good example of seeing fantastic international actors being brought out, and then seeing local actors matching them, like doing the same job. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like, which is also frustrating in a way. And if we talk about money, which is a bit vulgar, but what are you going to do?
We have to be a little bit vulgar from time to time.
Yeah. You see actors going head to head or toe to toe or whatever it is, and they're doing the same job, but one actor is earning, let's say in pounds, what this actor is earning in rand. And you're going, shit, there's just like there's an inequality here that's hard to avoid, especially when you're watching like two people doing the same thing, but one is being rewarded.
I mean, the reality is if production could get away with it, they wouldn't pay anyone anything.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it was just simple economics.
Yeah. So yeah, you do what you can. But I mean, as I say, that gig was amazing because among other things, I learned shitloads. But it was also great to see, like, they bring in a lot of obviously guest actors and local actors, and you just see them like standing up, matching what is often perceived as better actors because they're international, which is wrong. I think that
which isn't necessarily true.
Necessarily, that's better.
Okay,
not necessarily true because it's there's a perception that because actors are international, then they are better, which is not true.
It's another story about. It's like, help me if I'm wrong. It's like San Francisco, late 1800s, and kung fu and intrigue and gangs and crime, and
that's the one. And then Irish, Chinese war. There's like drugs and opium, and there's a whole lot of. I mean, it's really complex, and it's a great show. I mean, and I can say that because not just because I'm in it, but I'm not such a main feature that I'd be selling myself.
You don't feel like you'd be putting your finger on the scale.
Forward. Yeah. It's just a great show. It's beautifully written and wonderfully acted. I think, and just a great company.
Did you get to do some kung fu?
Oh, me? No. I got beaten. I just get beaten up a lot by
both sides.
By both sides, yeah. Because I played a cop, so I'm just like both sides are coming at me. Oh, at us. There was a group of us who was sort of police squad, not in a Naked Gun type way, and yeah, it's kind of came from all sides. But what was great about that show was that they'd formed a company of actors, which is very rare, I think, to my understanding. So for over the 3 seasons, so 6 years, isn't it great to have a company feeling, and making friends, and because so often you have these surrogate families when you work, you're like best mates, particularly in the theater. Actually, we like really good friends with someone for like 8 weeks, and then nothing, and then it's just like over. Not intentionally either. People just lose touch. Whereas this project, I still stay in touch with a lot of the actors who we worked with, which is a really great takeaway from that. I don't know why I'm on that. Why am I on that?
I think we're just talking about Warriors and the experience of that.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's very difficult. I mean, I know you're married and you've got 2 young daughters, which is great. But for a lot of the time, you find with actors that you have to be so dedicated to your craft. You don't want to allow anything to get in the way. So you end up not pursuing a lot of the normal sort of friendships and so on, because you know your hours are weird. You working on this project, you have to be away, traveling around, doing different shows and productions, and I think one of the things that really hurt there is exactly what you're saying, like having a company of actors, whether you're doing a theatrical troupe. And back in the old days, I know they had that with Pact and
Pact and Cape Hab, I think.
Yeah, so you're the same bunch of performers.
Yeah,
and now we're doing a children's show, and next we're doing this, and then we're doing some Shakespeare, and then we're doing, but it's all the same actors, and they become your family. For years.
Exactly.
And you go travel the country and take shows to schools and to other smaller theaters, and
doesn't really happen anymore. Certainly not in the English theater. It might be in the Afrikaans theater because they're very prolific. It's just the two scenes are very different.
No, you haven't tried your hand at the Afrikaans.
Oh no, I'm terrible at Afrikaans. No, I sound like an idiot. No, it sounds like some weird mixture of Dutch and Spanish, and it's not pretty to listen to or to watch. But yeah, I mean, we used to have a company many years ago, probably about 15 years ago, called the Mechanicals. I don't know if you remember, and it was like a rep company that we had, where we do like 2 or 3 plays in repertoire. So one night you'd do Importance of Being Earnest, and the next night you'd see someone doing the birthday party. So the idea was you'd see actors in different capacities, in different roles, and it's satisfying for an audience member to see how people
the process of the actor,
and how they transforms the wrong word, but how they negotiate the different challenges of what does it mean to be in this play, and what does it mean to be in this play, and then to be swapping those around sort of night by night. And within that, you become very close, and that was a really good time. That was an interesting, and I think that was a very good example of having quality and fun with zero money.
But you had two of the three,
and it was a blast. But it's very rare nowadays, as specifically in the English theatre. I don't know if there's a rep company in the Afrikaans world. There may be, because they've got so many of these incredible festivals and incredible actors, and there might be a company. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I don't know about any formal companies. Maybe they are. I speak under complete correction. I don't have any connections. But I do think when you have a production, there was a Ricky Gervais thing where Johnny Depp comes in to give him shit about.
Yeah, it's amazing. And extras.
And he's like, I'm doing a little movie. Have you heard of this director?
Yeah.
Do you know my lead lady's going to be Helena Bonham Carter? How did you know?
No, it's amazing.
But I think there is a little bit of that where a specific director has a relationship with a producer. They understand each other.
Yeah.
And they have specific actors that they've worked with. And
they have a company of...
And they have a rapport. Yeah. And so if we're going to do something and I need overweight guy in his 40s, and I need this, and I need...
I'll do it.
Yeah, you'll do it.
Overweight guy in his 40s, yep, I'm in. I mean, it's like a great example is Quentin Tarantino. He has a company of actors that he turns to regularly. He's got...
I think what Guy Ritchie also did with Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah,
Snatch. These guys.
Draw on these actors that I suppose, and that and great actors. I mean, some of the greatest actors out are working for these sort of directors, which is amazing to watch, and then makes one quite envious. But yeah, it's that sense of company that's an incredible. If you can achieve that, that's an incredible feeling.
So you think? I mean, you had your 3 ideas of trying to do great work, trying to enjoy it, and making money.
If you get all three.
Is there maybe like a fourth, something to be said for being part of something across a longer span of time?
Yeah, I mean that would be, geez, if you can get into something like Warrior, where there's a long, or you get, I mean, like these actors in long form TV, like to get into something like that, that's amazing. I mean, we spoke earlier outside about Black Sails, like that was a great meal ticket for a lot of actors.
Yeah.
Over a long period of time, and it's just a great. If we can get it, if you can get it, then it's great. Yeah.
So in this franchise, and now you get an idea, a little bit of longevity in it. You know ahead of time, like, oh, okay, well, so they're shooting another.
And I don't die, and I don't get my head chopped off, or whatever it is that tends to happen.
It happens so easily.
Yes, this is it. This is the problem. It's pretty precarious out there.
Like quickly going through the script.
No, that's what you do, man. In Warrior, it was like, oh shit, my
do I survive? Do I survive? Don't die.
Okay, good.
Not dead yet.
Not dead. Thank God. Shame. And then someone now dies, and you go, oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry you died.
Sorry about that. But I'm gonna go back next season. No, it's terrifying. And a lot of, I mean, every actor was on Black Sails. I don't know of anyone who wasn't, in some capacity. But yeah, the guys who had decent parts were always, having chats with the producers and checking the script to see, like, is this my one? Is this my day? Which is harrowing. But it's the way it goes, Yeah. It's the way it is.
You did a movie, Flowers Not For Me.
Oh, Lily's Not For Me.
Lily's Not For Me.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, not at all. It was with a director called Will Seafried. And in fact, one of the leads, Robert Arameo, I think his surname is. He just won the BAFTA for Best Actor for playing a Tourette's.
In a different
film. Project. Yeah. Anyway, he was one of the producers on it with Will Seafried, who was this amazing director. And it's a really cool story about how, I think it was in I want to say the 40s, but I might be wrong, where it was believed that homosexuality could be cured.
It's like Turing who ended up being chemically castrated.
This is it, yeah, and it's about a couple who, one of the partners within the couple decides to try and sort of cure this perceived malady. And it's a great story, and it's beautifully acted, but not from me necessarily, because I was handing it up like a.
There's a place and time for everything. Sometimes you gotta have your jobs to ham it.
No, that was a butchery out there. That was, but everyone else was fantastic. And again, there was some really great South African actors in there. It was just a really cool film and really beautifully done, and very careful in a way but not in a way that's cautious, if you know what I mean. So care was taken in all the right places. But it wasn't it wasn't cautious, if you know what I mean.
It wasn't treating the story with kid gloves.
Yeah. It was a really kind of, I thought a really fantastic film. I haven't seen the final product, but just reading the script and at the read through, all the the actors are involved, and it was cool. It was really fun, really good. Yeah, and I got to come in and do another Cockney accent and
ham it up with a Cockney accent.
Ham about, man. That's right. Yeah, it's a full circle, man. Charlie, Jade, Lily's Not For Me, just looping that Cockney accent. Just a one-trick pony.
If you have to look at all the things, including theatre, if you look at all the projects you've done in your career so far, what you pick as the one that sort of most stands out? And either one of those, or on whichever two of those three
Oh wow! I mean, I was very lucky with Amadeus. That was an amazing time. I think also like a great company of actors. That was a pretty super time. I always have a great time with Louis Fillion. I don't know if you know Louis' writing. I think he's the best playwright in the country, personally. But I've done a couple of his plays, and those are always for me a great joy because we're friends and we sort of see eyeball to eyeball. We work in a similar way. I mean, when we were doing that company work, that was also great. That's very hard to say. A Warrior was just a dream. I've been so lucky. I've had so many lucky sort of things. So it's good when it's good. It's shit when it's shit, though.
Yeah.
You know.
So what are the sort of big dreams from this? I mean, aside from surviving, which is always a good first port of call.
That's always a good hit. Yeah. My brother-in-law and I, Adrian Collins, and my friend of mine, Andrew Rue, we're opening a theatre in Kloof Street.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the next project. Opening a theatre and a bar.
Dinner and a show.
Drinks, dinner, no.
Yeah, kitchen's a different business.
Yeah. No dinner, just drinks. Yeah, so a little bar and a theatre, 40-seater. It's called The Antique. I'm just doing a shameless punt here.
Oh, please go ahead.
And
when are you guys planning to open that?
23rd of July. Yeah, so that's my next kind of thing. Yeah, so we're opening with an amazing actor called Tankiso. And yeah, 23rd of July.
Would you be doing like various different kinds of shows in one night? So someone you'd have like 10-minute comedy skit and then a 20-minute soliloquy.
So ideally we'd have 2 shows a night. So, and hopefully of a varying
genre.
That's the word. Yeah. So, and then maybe like a comedy night. So you have a show at 7s perhaps, and then comedy afterwards, or perhaps jazz or something. So every night, sort of 2 options for audience members to kind of either take in both or choose one.
A little bit of stand-up.
Yeah, definitely. Music, yeah, if we can, accommodate it, absolutely, yeah.
40-seater, is that... Well, how did you get to 40? Is that just
the size of the space? It used to be an antique shop, hence the name.
Hence the name.
Yeah. And it's just that's what we could kind of wedge in there. But it's a nice size, and I mean, ever since the Alexander Bar left town, which was such a great space and such a valuable asset to the city, I think, and to theatre, and they left a big hole when it closed down, like a huge hole, I think, for independent theatre, and hopefully we can kind of pick up the slack on that and fill a hole that people are looking for. I hope. We'll see. Fuck, might just tank them, then we know what. Then what do you do? Then I don't know what. Then it's drawing board time. Back to and see what happens.
Well, that seems to be part of life,
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to try. You have to risk it to win the biscuit.
This is it. That's it. I like that. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. Hope you haven't risked too much, but yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
No, it's good.
What other projects do you see around in Cape Town in terms of theatre, trying to serve that smaller space? So you think that's exactly why you guys are bouncing it, because you can't really see someone else doing it? Or
well, I mean, I think there are people that are doing it. I know there's a small little theatre called the Tennille Hace that accommodates smaller shows, intimate shows. A lot of the smaller spaces don't offer long runs, which is what we're going to offer, is like a 3-week run. So you can really get a show off its feet and get it up and running and give it some time to settle, some time to grow, and time to kind of really
You can justify the rehearsal period.
Yes, exactly. And hopefully make some money, for the shows and for the theatre.
And in that way, it could also become a bit of an incubator for shows.
Yeah.
So once something, if it manages to pull itself together nicely in that space during that time, then they may use that as a launch pad too.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully a place where people can feel safe but not necessarily do safe work, but they can feel safe and held.
They can feel safe enough to do unsafe work.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And yeah, a place where theatre or independent theatre can have maybe a home, because there's very few. There's the Masamba Theatre, the Baxter, Theatre Arts, and then there's a Drama Factory, I think, just out of town. But there's no one really in town that's doing anything like that. So hopefully,
Kloof Street's pretty cool.
Kloof Street's great, man. They've got beautiful restaurants down there. There's
You've got First Thursdays happening.
First Thursdays kind of going through.
Sundays where they actually block it off and it just becomes a pedestrian way.
Yeah. No, it's a really cool street. And all the sort of, I know a couple of the proprietors of some of the restaurants there, and they're really lovely people. At the Dark Horse, the Black Sheep, like amazing people, very supportive. Yeah, so it's a really cool sort of street to be part of. And my sister has a salon there. She has a hair salon, which is right next door to the theatre. So it's all quite a sort of like a family type
family
thing.
affair.
Yeah, which is quite cool. Yeah, just quite fun. It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying, but
as it should be.
Yeah, no, terrifying, but exciting. Yeah. So 23rd July.
I look forward to.
Yeah, I'll shoot you an invite.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully we can fill that gap, because as I say, I can't say enough about the Alexander Bar. It was just such an important space.
I think we're sort of close to wrapping up, but I just quickly want to, while we on this little theatre, is part of the plan for you to actually do some pieces that give you an opportunity to play a variety of characters and sort of keep cutting your teeth. And
I'd like to sort of I'd love to kind of get stuck in there,
but get the balance right. So it's
got to get one of the two of the three.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do some stuff, but you also want to create the space for other people to do things.
You don't want to be like in your own sandpit playing with all the toys and not letting anyone else join in the fun. So yeah, if the opportunity arises and there's a project that I feel like I could help with or serve, then absolutely, yeah, it'd be great to do something, because it's a beautiful. Hopefully, we'll make it into this beautiful little space. Yeah, because I think there's an audience for it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nick Pauling, I want to say thank you very much for being on the Dan Dan Flow today.
Thank you, sir.
I really enjoyed the conversation.
No, me too. Thanks, man. It was a good time.
Like it.
Cheers, mate. Done.
Yeah.
Done and Dunsky. Awesome. Thanks, dude.